Hi, welcome back to Digital Learning. We're here today with Alex Heeren, one of the Technology Integration Coordinators for Digital Learning. And Alex is telling us about Doceri, an application that is available for iPads and some Windows 10 computers. But this is an application that's available right now to all Pinellas County school teachers. And so it's a powerful tool that allows teachers to get free from the front of the board and move around the classroom. So Alex, you mentioned that you can make videos with Doceri. How does that work?
Yeah, so it's really easy. The first thing you would do is, let me actually step back for a second. What often gets compared when you see the videos you make with this, people say, oh, what about, is that like Khan Academy then? It's kind of like Khan Academy. I think it's better than Khan Academy, and here's why. I've watched those videos. I think they're great. I think it's a great idea, but someone needs to write that man a script, because sometimes he tends to drone on because he's trying to write and talk at the same time. The benefit about the way Doceri handles that is you do all of your writing and your planning ahead of time. And then when you're ready to record your voice, you're not trying to keep up and draw at the same time. So let me show you an example. I'm going to go out, well actually I can stay on here. I'm going to go ahead and open one of my projects I've done, which is on how to multiply fractions. So you can see here the presentation is being presented up on the board, but on my computer I've got the whole user interface with all of the stops that I've made, all the slides I've made, everything is there, all the tools and all of that stuff. And one of the cool things about the way it's set up is Doceri will remember every single stroke you do. So I can go back, you can see I get rid of 1 dot, 2 dots, I can get rid of one thing at a time. Every stroke is remembered. So you can go forward and backwards 1 stroke at a time. So I've already drawn all of this. Once it's been drawn, you will hit play on the iPad and it'll go until it gets to what's called a stop. So you tell it where to stop and pause. So I've done all this work when I'm actually recording my voice, recording my video. All I have to do, I don't have to try and keep up with the video because I've told it where to pause. So I say what I want to say, and I can just say however long I want to talk about, whatever's on the board. And then, once I've done all that, I can hit the play button and it'll move to the next thing. So you can also increase the speed. So let me speed this up a little bit and kind of show you the rest of the slide. Another cool thing about Doceri. Now I didn't want to have to make that circle however many times. This ends up being five of those circles, I think, with thirds. You can copy objects you've created. So watch closely as I fill in the little yellow sections here, you'll see that they're actually filled in the exact same way as I make each one, because it copies not only the image but also the strokes that it took to make that image. So each one of those strokes is copied as well. So I'm just going from one stop to the next, and you can see it stops at a particular point on each one of these. I can also go skip ahead. So this next one I know is a really long picture. I just want to skip to the next stop, so I'm just going to go boom and throw it up there. So this maybe took me 45 minutes to make this whole presentation, and it kind of keeps going on to actually draw it, put it together, using just the annotation tools in Doceri. But once I've done that pre-work, recording it, I can do it in one take, because I'm just speaking over what I've already done. And you can see here another example where I put multiple pictures into it that I took with the iPad camera. So again, there's an example of where you can use all of the different tools from this to create content. Let me go ahead and look at there's 2 more slides. We don't have to go through this whole thing, but I did want to show this is actually a custom background I created. So if I'm teaching how to multiply fractions, one of the visual ways that they show how to multiply fractions is by using these bars, 1/2 times 1/3. You take the area that's filled in, and that's the result of the product. If you're doing this kind of topic and you're teaching this kind of thing in the classroom, you're going to be using this. Let's see if I can go back to. You're going to be using this slide all the time. So like I was saying before, you could pre-build this as a separate project and then save it as a custom background and then just use it every day. Mm-hmm. And so you don't have to redo it every time. So there's a little, recording this, once you've kind of made everything, it's easy as hitting the record button. and then talk.
So how would you use the recording? I mean, I get while you're doing your annotation and you're walking around the classroom and monitoring and so on and so forth. But how would you use the pre-recorded video piece?
Well, there's a couple different things people do. If you're using something like a flipped or blended classroom, then this is extremely powerful because this is probably in my experience, the easiest way to make a watch from home video, a video for the students to see from home. You can also record if you want to while you're in the classroom teaching it, and put it on, let's say, EduVision, for example. If you wanted to put a link to that on your Moodle page or your PCSB page, then students who are absent, say, for a day, now they're seeing the content, they're seeing the lecture still, they have access to it, and they don't have the excuse to say, well, I wasn't here that day, what did we learn? You can record as you're showing it.
Yeah, the great question in middle school is, I was absent yesterday, did we do anything? No, we just sat here and waited for you to get back.
Exactly.
So this gives us an opportunity to say, this is what we did.
Yeah. So it's incredibly powerful, and it's something that if you want to get started right away, you can start with just using it as a digital whiteboard. If you want to spend more time with it, you can use it to make videos and stuff like that.
So I believe you that it's easy, and it's clearly easy for you, but I can imagine there might be some teachers out there that would really like some side-by-side help in getting going with this. What's available for that?
This is what a lot of my job is to go out to classrooms, to go to schools and try and build instruction. So if you need shameless self-promotion, if you are interested in this product, which is free, and you want me to come out for free to show your school how to use it, my name is Alex Heeren. My email is Heerene, because I go by my middle name. My first name's Edward, so Heerene@pcsb.org.
And so you're available to go out, meet with PLCs?
I can meet with PLCs during the day. I can meet with teachers during their planning periods. I can do before school, after school. I'm very, very flexible in terms of when I can come out, yeah.
How about just actually going into the classroom?
Oh, absolutely. If there's a teacher who's using it, who wants support, like to see what they're doing in the classroom or to have ideas for how to use this more in the classroom, I can come out and just observe and give feedback, absolutely, in a totally non-evaluative, supportive kind of way. Yeah.
So Doceri has been around for a while. District bought those licenses a few years ago, and meanwhile, we're beginning to hear a lot about the topic of digital linking, and specifically within the framework of the Microsoft Office 365 and OneNote. And again, it has a lot of the same capabilities, but let's talk a little bit about what's coming up for that.
Absolutely. So Windows 10 is coming at some point. It's not here yet for the whole district, but we're working our way towards it. And one of the very, very cool things that's built into it, that with the prices of touchscreens coming down, we are going to be able to afford more of these kinds of two-in-one devices at some point down the road, and we want to make sure that we're ready to utilize those tools to their fullest extent and get teachers in the classroom using those tools to the fullest extent. So the device I have here is a two-in-one device with a touch screen, and I'm using one of the little nub pens you get for 15 cents anywhere. They give them as throwaways. Everyone's got these, a drawer full of these lying around their house, and you can use one of these to draw on one of these devices. So I'm going to open up OneNote, which is a program that teachers have that comes as part of Office 365 and Office 2016. And
so they already have this piece of it, the
program,
the OneNote.
I could not use my pen. I could use this to type. I could insert pictures. I could insert videos. OneNote's already an awesome program. They could be using OneNote for all kinds of things. I mean, you've got all my notes here. You can see kind of my Office 365 training notes on here. I use it for everything. And a lot of the time, I'm not using the digital inking with it either. I'm using it to organize my ideas. But if you're in front of a classroom and you've got the hardware in your classroom, say, to take this screen and put it up on the big screen, which the technology's out there to do that without having to be hooked up to a wire. You can walk around just like with Doceri. You're drawing with Doceri in the back of the room. Well, we're going to move towards having your computer be able to do the same thing, reflecting your screen onto the projector. And then from there, you'll be able to use the digital inking tools. So I'm going to draw, I don't know, a smiley face, right? And you can do the same sorts of things with this program and reflect it. Now, what's cool about OneNote is you can also then create class notebooks that have all your students in them. That's a whole different thing, but then you can actually draw on student work and connect to student work without having to go to their stations. You'll be able to access all their work from wherever you are.
So there's a lot to learn regarding OneNote and Class Notebook, but these are tools that are available right now for teachers. And so again, tell about some of the training and the work that you've been doing with teachers in this.
Sure. Well, Office 365 is available, like you said, right now, and we're trying to move people to using that. A lot of people have heard about it. A lot of people are using it and have been using it in their classrooms to great effect. All the feedback I've heard from teachers who are using Office 365, they love it. And if teachers aren't familiar with it, what it is it's an online suite of apps compared to like something like Google Docs, but I think it's a lot more powerful. So if you're used to using Word to make Word documents, the benefit of using Word online is now it's everywhere. You don't have to worry about saving it to your H drive and then not having access to it at home, or saving it to your desktop and losing it when your not that our computers ever break, but on the off chance the computer, something happens, when you save your work online using Office 365, it's there. You have it. And you can access it. You don't even have to take your computer home. If you have a computer at home, you can just go online and access all your same stuff. So there's online versions of Word, there's online versions of PowerPoint, Excel. There are tools that are online that you don't have available offline, like Sway, which a lot of teachers really enjoy. It's a presentation type tool. And then the big one for me, in addition to OneNote, is OneDrive, which is a cloud storage, which is basically like, all of your files, all the stuff you have out on the cloud so you can access them anywhere.
So we don't have any more switching back and forth between this computer and that computer. We just, whatever computer, pull it up and there it is.
No more lugging thumb drives or trying to figure out what's where. If you put everything in your OneDrive, you know where it is and you can find it.
So you've been doing a lot of training. Our department's been doing a lot of training for this, and we have some great opportunities coming up for summer training. Teachers should definitely be keeping an eye on all of those training for summer opportunities, because they will be able to really access this and start to plan for next school year. Alex, thanks a lot. Thanks for all of your innovation, and we're going to look forward to hearing more from you. Thanks for joining us today on Digital Learning, and I hope you'll stay tuned and join us again next time.